Hello everyone, this is Sandra from the blog Cherry Heart, here with podcast number 15. What do I want to say? I don't know. Hello, welcome. Welcome to you if you're a returning viewer. How about that? That's a good start. And welcome if you're trying me out for the first time. I hope you enjoy it. And you can find the show notes on my blog, which is cherryheart.co.uk, and you can find me around the web. You can find the social media links on my blog, or I'm Sandra Cherry HRT on Instagram, and I'm Cherry Heart pretty much everywhere else. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's start, shall we? Let us spend some time together chatting over yarny things. Hope you've got a cup of tea, coffee maybe, a little something to knit or crochet. I haven't got much to show you that I've done. I have been doing things. I think I've even finished a few things, but I haven't got an awful lot to show. But I finished my cross stitch house, so I thought I'd show you that. Here it is. So this is the summer house, and it's a free pattern by Brooks Books. It is on her website, but I find it quite hard to find it just doing a Google search. It always takes me a little messing about to find it, so I have put a link on the show notes. But there's 4 houses. This is the summer one, and then there's one for each season. So I'm planning on doing them all, and I'm going to frame them all, and then I'm going to put them up in my new house if we ever get there. So yeah, that's my plan. So it takes a long time to do this. Put a lot of work in on this, a lot of time spent on this, but it was enjoyable. It's quite good. I quite like it. I quite like how it turned out, and I'm kind of looking forward to doing some more. I think I'd quite like to do the winter one next. For some reason, that's what I'm drawn to. It's quite cute. It's got a little snowman in the garden, and the roof is all snowy. So it's not really the appropriate time of year around here for that, but that's what I like, so I might just go with it. But I'm having a little break from cross stitchery for now. I kind of got quite into making it and wanted to do it all the time, which was quite good. But at the same time, I felt like I wasn't achieving much, which isn't probably quite the right way to look at it, but because it took quite a long time. I think it's the lack of achieving something on the knitting and crochet front. I think that's what I need. I feel like I'm not doing anything because I'm not doing that, and that's what I'm normally doing. So that's probably just because I'm not used to it, I think. A bit strange. Yeah, anyway, moving on. So my other thing to show you that I finished these a little while ago actually, just removing some cat hairs. Thank you, Stanley. So these are they. Now these are, what are they? 2 block socks they're called. And they are by Linda, who is Knitwise Designs on Ravelry. And I think that's the name of her, her everywhere sort of thing. Her blog and what have you, if she has one. But anyway, she designs and her patterns are on Ravelry, so Knitwise Designs on Ravelry. But yeah, I did this as a test knit for her. Just show you that cuff, look at that detail on the cuff. It's good, isn't it? I like that, it's different. It's quite pretty. Yeah, so these were fun to make actually. I enjoyed these. They're a toe-up sock, and the pattern's available on Ravelry now. Because as I say, I finished these a little while ago. And yeah, there's 2 sort of slightly different versions. There's these to make this pattern. There's the sort of different ways that you can line up. Oh, I'm not speaking properly. There's 2 different patterns you can choose from basically, and from those 2 patterns you can also sort of rearrange how you do the little sort of, they're kind of like little, not cables exactly, but you can rearrange them to make different patterns. But I like this one. So it's kind of like a, almost like a ribbing thing with a, but more interesting. So it's quite good. It, you know, it made them interesting to knit. It was one of those where when you sort of first do the first couple of rows, it sort of feels a bit awkward, you know, and if it wasn't a test knit, I might have sort of gone, I don't know. I tend to like my knitting to be quite easy, to be honest, and mindless. So, but yeah, just literally that, after a couple of rows, you're like, oh no, it's fine. I've got the hang of it now, no problems. So yeah, so that was good. And then this yarn is by Yantan Tether Yarns, and it's Pixie is the colourway. It's really cute. It's one of those, I got a yarn from her before, and I really like when her colourway, she does sort of a really nice effect. They're not speckled, they're more mottly, I suppose, but there's lots of different colours in there, as you can sort of see on the bottom. But they're just sort of nicely spaced. It's all sort of random, but really evenly spaced as well. I really like that. One of my absolute favourites was from her. So yeah, and I like the heel as well. Looks nice with the slips and the colour. I did too, just to prove. Just to prove I did actually get a pair. They're cute, aren't they? I don't think I tried them on when I finished. They fit nice, and I think they've just sat on here ever since. I don't think I've actually worn them. I suppose it's not really been weather for hand knit socks, has it? Even though it's not been nice, it's been wet and miserable and grey and quite chilly actually here. But still, I haven't felt quite to the need to go to hand knit socks. I've noticed what I've done, because I'm joining in with Kristen's of the Yarngasms Box O Socks knit along. So that's where you can make 12 or more, if you want to, socks, and you store them in a box, and it's a year-long knit along. So I'm doing a pair of socks for each month. That's what I aim to do. Anyway, so it kind of fits in quite nicely with that. So these are my ones for May, but because I'm doing the Box O Socks, I tend to finish them, fold them up nicely, put them in my little box to see how they look, and to see them all collecting up and make me feel very pleased with myself. And then I tend to leave them in there because they look quite pretty, and then I don't wear them. So even the ones I made in January and February, I've perhaps worn once or twice, and then I've just popped them back in the box and gone, oh, that's pretty. I like to see them there. So yeah, don't know if I'm going to do that all year, or whether I'll break that habit at some point, or what. But probably not in summer, I guess. I guess while it's sort of still not freezing cold, at least. I hesitate to use the word summer, you see, because it's not what it feels like. I guess they can stay in there, and that's fine. So, moving on, what else have we got? Let's tell you what I'm doing. That's what I've done. Let's tell you what I'm doing. Right, so, got another pair of socks on the go. It's actually, while the cross stitch was going on, I didn't have any socks on the go. Oh, wasn't right. So of course I had to cast on a pair. So this is the yarn I'm using. I'll show you this first because it's so pretty. There we go. This is a Nora George yarn. It's just sock yarn, it just says. It's 75% merino, 25% nylon. But it's really nice and squishy. You wouldn't really know it's got nylon in it. It's very, you know, it's merino, so it's got that nice merino bounce to it. But yeah, you wouldn't really even know it had any nylon in it. I really like it. And this is her Violets colourway. It's so really subtle and pretty, and yeah, it reminds me of refreshers, so that's what I thought. Like sort of the refreshers you get in the UK. I think refreshers are something slightly different in America. But here, they're sort of like, they're a bit like love hearts actually. You get those in America as well and over here, don't you? They're sort of like that sort of thing, except for they haven't got exciting love heart things on. Ooh, I'm just going to pause a minute. Sorry about that. Low power, we may run out of battery. What was I saying? Yeah, they're kind of like love hearts, but they're not. They're just plain smaller discs in these sort of colours. So yeah. So I am knitting with these, with this yarn. I'm making a mess, that's what I'm doing. Right, I'm knitting the Fine and Dandy socks. You might know these because quite a lot of people have posted on Instagram and mentioned. So there we go, that's how they're coming up. So pretty. Yeah, the Fine and Dandy socks by the Sweater Co. So it's the Sweater Co on Ravelry and also on Instagram. I don't know her actual name. Sorry, I don't know your name. Yeah, so these are toe up socks. Oh, and also I wanted to say that these were a lovely little gift from Natalie, Dotty About Crochet. So thank you very much, Natalie. I've been looking forward to getting started on these. That's why I wanted to use, well, I was going to say a really nice yarn, but that's, all my yarns are really nice, otherwise I wouldn't have bought them, would I? But you know, I wanted to use a really pretty one. So I actually think this pattern might be, although it shows up well here, might have been slightly better suited or to words. You know what I'm trying to say, don't you? You're screaming at the phone. No, you're screaming at the, whatever you're watching it on, might be a phone. Not variegated, that's what I'm trying to say. Semi-solid, there you go. Sorry, so sorry. Yeah, so I was thinking maybe a semi-solid colour might have been better. I thought this was going to be subtle enough, but actually when it's knit up you can sort of see the lines of colour quite clearly. It's still nice though, I still really like it. I just wondered if another yarn would have shown the pattern up even better. Just showing you on the back is lit. It would have made a really nice vanilla sock as well. Yeah, so anyway, back to the story about it. Yeah, so I was really looking forward to knitting these up. My lovely gift. Thank you again. And yeah, so these are a toe up sock, which is not my favourite. And I think I've made a bit of a mess of these ones. Well, not a mess, but they don't fit. So this is what I've got. In fact, look, that's the end of the heel. That's huge for me. Really big. My heel actually is about there. So I don't know what I've done. I followed the pattern. I've actually got gauge. Not deliberately, I just knit it and then I checked afterwards when I thought these are coming out huge. And as luck would have it, I've got perfect gauge. So it says to start the heel, it gave a measurement. And I did measure my foot, but I can only think I didn't measure it remotely accurately because I've knit this up and it's taken about the measurement that they said, slightly under if anything, but still this is humongous on me, so I must have had a bit of a, I don't know, I must have looked at the wrong number on the tape measure or something, I don't know. But anyway, so of course I've done this, turned the heel, got all the way up here and gone, yeah, they don't fit. So this is why I'm sort of, another reason why toe up aren't my favourite, because if you make a mistake, you've then got to undo all of the heel. I think. I can't see another way around it. Whereas if I go down and the heel doesn't fit, I can just change the toe and that's not too much knitting. But doing the whole heel again, gusset and everything, that's a lot of knitting. So yeah, I was a little bit miffed about that. And actually, if I put them on, they do, well, they don't fit, but they go onto my foot really nicely. It's just my heel is here and this bit is right up. around my ankle, but it actually covers my foot well, so it sort of fits in that sense, just doesn't fit in the way it was intended. Yeah, so I ummed and ahed a bit about what to do. I got excited because I thought, oh, I could take the toe out anyway and go back. That would work, even though it would still unravel. That would work. I could just take the toe out, take some repeats out, and put the toe back on. But because of the style of this pattern, where you sort of catch these stitches, I don't think that would work, would it? I don't know if anyone knows the pattern. I'm pretty sure it wouldn't work. If you know the pattern and you are able to advise or have any suggestions, that would be gratefully received. But I think my current plan of action is to rip back the heel, but instead of doing the whole thing again, I might just bung a fish lips kiss heel in there, because I reckon that before the gusset starts, I haven't really got very long and I could put a fish lips kiss in anyway. So I think rather than doing all the same knitting again, I might just bung one of them in. I think I'm a bit more confident I can get that where I want it. Not that I've had a problem before knitting them and getting the fit right, so it may be, hopefully this is just a, you know, a one-off aberration. But yeah, I think just psychologically I'd feel better if I undid it but then knit up something different, and undid it and then knit up the same thing again. Yeah, so those have been sitting and not been worked on while I sort of decided whether I was going to carry on and ignore it or just go back and do the whole thing again. But yeah, that's my action plan so far. But if you have any suggestions or any ideas about that ripping back the toe thing, I think it would work normally. I think it just won't work on this pattern. So there's that. And then what else have I got to show you? My cardigan. That's what I'm going to show you. My little cardigan I'm making. Now, this is a crochet cardigan. So I haven't been massively enamoured with the idea of making crochet cardigans up until now, because just of the material of crochet, I think, like knitted fabric, you just get that sort of very uniform, very regular look if it's sort of like stocking stitch, don't you? And also you can, you know, if you knit back and forth, you can make the fabric look the same from the front as you can if you knit in the round. So if you knit a cardigan and you knit back and forth, you can still get that same sleek right side, all the same right side, it's all got the same sort of stitch facing forward, so it looks really neat and regular. Where with crochet, as far as I know, there's no way to do that. If you knit back and forth, you get a right side row and you get a wrong side row. You can't make the wrong side row appear right as you can in knitting. So that put me off. But when I made the boho stars thing over there, I really like the way that that top bit came out. I'll get it so you can see. Yeah, this bit. And I really like the way it sits on my shoulders. So I was thinking, wouldn't it be nice to do that on the top of the cardi? So I thought that, I don't know, when did I make this? 2 years ago? That's when I thought of that idea. And then, you know, it just sat in the background as these things do without me doing anything about it. And yeah, for some reason now I thought would be the time I'm going to do it. I think what also spurred me on was yeah, I decided I was going to do the same yarn, the Bergeret de France Ideal, as I did with the boho cape. And then I saw, so I had everything, and I finally sort of worked out roughly how much I'd need and all that, ordered it, had everything, and then I watched Sam's podcast, Betsy Makes. And hi Sam. And she was making a cardigan, and it was oh, I can't remember what the book's called. 3 from the Top or something. It's by Joanne Scrace, the pattern. Is that right, Scrace? That doesn't sound right. Sorry, I might be saying that wrong. But anyway, the patterns are all really lovely, and I think Kat Golding as well, because it's part of the crochet project, I think. Anyway, they've done these 3 cardigans. They're all crochet. They all look really nice, so that sort of spurred me on. I thought, oh, you know, they can make lovely cardigans with crochet. Maybe I could try doing my idea and see if that would work. I don't know if it will. I don't even know if I can do it, but I may as well have a little go. In fact, when I saw that pattern, I got quite excited because I thought maybe I could just make that pattern and sort of adapt it to fit the top bit on, but they're all top down, whereas I want my V's to be the right way up, so I'm doing it bottom up, because I have to be awkward, don't I? But anyway, so I thought, no, I'll have a go. So what I'm doing is I've picked a cardigan that I like, that fits me well, which is this one, and that's sort of going to be my template, if you like. And I've had a little play around. So I did a sort of swatch of sorts. I'll show you my little test pieces. So there's my little bit of just crochet, just seeing how it would come out. And then I wanted to sort of see how I could do the button band and how that would work. And then I tried something slightly different up here, I think. Had another go at attaching it a different way. Oh, that was it, yeah, the end rows, because here you get sort of the holes. So I wanted to do it a bit differently so you didn't get the holes. Yeah, so that was that little experiment. And then I had this idea I was going to have at the bottom, rather than having a ribbon, I was just going to have a little split. Which probably doesn't make sense, but so then I was sort of testing that idea out, how I would finish the edging round and get that to lie nice. So this is my little playing, and then after I'd had that little play, I had a little go. And yeah, it's coming on quite nicely. I'll show you what I've got so far. So this is my back. Not very exciting at the moment, obviously. It's just plain old treble crochet, really, back and forth, back and forth. But here's my little splits, you see. So this is going to be a front. Hang on. Okay. So that's a front, and then there's like a little sort of split, so it, I don't know, just for a feature really. And then the back, and then a little split the other side. So I think on, not on that cardigan, but another cardigan, they've got that, they sort of split the ribbon. So I just thought, oh, that looks quite cute, I'll do that. So I think this is tall enough now. I think that's my body bit is okay. So that's that. So I started on the sleeves, and I've got a sleeve done. So that took a bit of jiggery pokery to get that to come out right and work the increases out. Got some lovely little stitch markers here from Molly, Magical Molly of Homespun House. I love the pretzel one, that's my favourite. So cute. So yeah, so I'm quite happy with that. So now I've got this sleeve done. I've just made a note of the increases and so on. And now I can just whip up another one. And then the fun bit comes, and I can see if I can sort of attach them and make it fit up here somehow. It'll be fine. It's fine, it's not a problem, is it? It'll be easy peasy. Yeah, I don't know. I won't weave any ends in, put it that way. So I'm just trying to reattach this marker, because I noticed the loops come out. So I left the yarn attached because I think that'll be long enough, but just, you know, it's an experiment, isn't it? So we'll see. Yeah, so I'm happy with how it's coming along so far, but then on the other hand, I've only done easy back and forth stuff and one sleeve so far, so we'll see. The tricky bit will be sort of seeing if I can graft this bit on the top of it, basically. I'll keep you posted. So that's that. Let's put this away quickly. Yeah, I haven't been buying anything. I've been goodish. I haven't bought anything since we went to Norfolk, and I popped in the yarn shop there. So even though the temptation has been huge, I've been coming across other yarn dyers, a couple that I really want to order something from. Yeah, on Instagram and things, but I haven't yet. I'm holding out for Fibre East. That's what I'm holding out for. I'm sort of trying to save my pennies, because that will be coming up at the end of July. So yeah, I'm going to go to that. Me and Sam are going to go together, hopefully. Sam of Betsy Minx. So yeah, fingers crossed I get to go and the house move doesn't end up being right at that time. But hopefully I'll get to go. So, and if I do go, I'll want to buy some things. So I've got to save my pennies for that. So that's why I'm being good. But so I thought I'd show you some stuff I got a little while ago that I never got around to showing you at the time for whatever reason, because I'm a rubbish podcaster and I don't do them regularly enough, probably. I expect that's it. I've got a couple of Vine skeins to show you. So I really like Kristen's podcast, obviously, and I'm sure you'll have heard of it, Yarngasm, and she dyes her yarns, the Vine yarns, which are all beautiful. So of course I've been coveting them for quite a while, and it was Enjoy the Silence that I wanted. And if you've ordered from her before, I'm sure you'll know that it's you know, they go quick, so you've got to be online, you've got to be ready to pounce. So I tried a couple of times. Anyway, one time I managed to get what I wanted, got my Enjoy the Silence, very happy bunny, and then it came, and you know, it took a little while because obviously I'm in UK and she's in America, in New York, Brooklyn, and so I opened it up and there was this inside. Look how good that looks on the camera. Wow. And this is gorgeous, but it is not Enjoy the Silence. So I thought, oh no, in my haste to order, I've clicked on the wrong thing, I've ordered the wrong thing. I mean, this is gorgeous and it is lovely, so I was quite, you know, it's not like I was disappointed, I was quite happy, but I was sort of, I was so pleased that I thought I'd got the particular colourway that I wanted. So I thought, well, I'll just check. It is me being, you know, silly and clicking the wrong thing. And then I checked my order and I hadn't. It wasn't actually me. So I thought, oh, well, what do I do? Because it's not, you know, she dyes her own yarn. It's not like she's got, you can just pop into the back and get one off the shelf, you know. So I contacted her and sort of said, oh, you know, what do I do? And she said, oh, yeah, no problem. Send one out. Bam. Sent it out. Got it here really quickly. So thank you so much for that, Kristen, if you happen to stumble across this. But I was so pleased with that. So then this came. Oh, look. Oh, so excited. So excited to use this. I've been, you know, savouring because I really like them. But yeah, I don't know quite what I want to make it. I'm not sure I want this to be socks, you see. But I don't know quite what it'll be. So yeah, I need to savour it and hang on to it and ponder the possibilities for a while. But anyway, once that was sorted out, I sort of said to Kristen, is there any possibility I could maybe hold on to this one as well? Because I thought perhaps, you know, there might have been a order mix up, but she said, no, that's fine. So I got to keep this one too. So I got two lovely woolen vines to use. They're both on sparkle base. They're on her blitzed base, which is her sparkly sock base. So they're superwash merino, nylon and stellina. Yeah, so that made me happy. So that was fun. This was ages ago. I think this might have even been end of last year, I'm not sure. And then another little thing that I'd been coveting was some socks, yeah, by Coop Knits. So that's Rachel Coopy, and I'm sure you would have heard of her, sock knitter extraordinaire. So I got some of this. They actually had it in a yarn shop that's quite near me. I guess it's my local yarn shop. It's not that local, but it is probably one of the closer ones that I can actually get to without driving for 6 miles. 600, no, not 6 miles, because that wouldn't be far. 6 hours, I was meant to say. Yeah, so that's really pretty. So I'm kind of looking forward to using that too. This is sock, yeah. Fine superwash merino wool and nylon, 75-25%. And I'm looking for the colour, that's what I'm looking for. Ooh, Chryso? 108. Chryso. Don't know if I'll get that in focus enough so you can see it. There, it's down the bottom. So this phone is good for many things, but it's not that great as focusing close. Anyway, yeah, but that's nice. So again, not sure what I want to do with it yet. So I'm just enjoying having it on my shelf until the right thing pops out and then demands to be knitted out of that. But that's okay, isn't it? Sometimes you just want to hang on to them, don't you? And other times you sort of open it and want to get into it straight away. Those are the hang-on kind for some reason. Okay, I think that might be mostly it. So it's only one more quick thing I wanted to talk about, which is a new podcast that I was going to say I've watched. There's one so far, and that's by Jules of So Sweet Violets. She's just started a podcast, and yeah, I was really excited to see that she was doing one, so I popped on and watched it straight away, and yeah, I really enjoyed it, really loved it. She's just lovely. Yeah, it's just it's very high standard for a first podcast, I thought. She's got a great picture, the lighting was good, you could hear her well, and you know, she spoke nicely, was, you know, very interesting, and yeah, I just really enjoyed it. She just makes, she likes Liberty of London, so she makes lots of things using Liberty fabric, and they're just gorgeous, very, very lovely. So she's got an Etsy shop as well, by the way, which is worth checking out. So I think when I move, a lot of sentences start like that, don't they? When we move, I might treat myself to a little something to go up in the craft room, because I think that will just look lovely. So yeah, so that'll be good. So yes, if you would like to check her out, I think you definitely should, because pretty things. And it's one of those, I warn you, it's one of those podcasts where I was watching it and going, oh, where'd you get that? Better look that up. Oh, where did you buy that? Oh, better look that up. So yeah, that sent me off on a few little potential shopping sprees. Again, trying to be good at the minute, so I'm kind of restrained, but it's on the list. It's on the list. I'm remembering some of those. So yeah, so that was fun to watch. And then the only other thing to talk about really is just a little update on the house move, but there isn't really anything to update because the house The house just ain't moving right now. Things are supposedly going along. Apparently all the big and important things have been done as far as the solicitors are concerned, but yet they're not happy, they're not finished yet. We still have no date, so we're still sort of endlessly waiting, sitting around, drumming our fingers going, could be doing things, come on, let's get on with it. So yeah, so that's a bit frustrating, but what can you do? Guess it'll happen when it happens. And yeah, what else can I tell you about? Not a lot really. Papa's is fine. Poppy's getting along very good. Puppy's not really that much of a puppy anymore, is he? He's 10 months now. When do they stop being a puppy? At a year? I don't know. Is he considered a grown-up dog at a year? But anyway, he's fine, and little Puska, the Stanley cat, he's fine too. Stanley is fine. They are getting on. They're definitely getting on a little better. All that is to say, not getting on, they're tolerating. They're sort of, you know, they've learnt each other's boundaries a bit, and they can be in the same room-ish. And if it's sunny, it's good. They'll definitely lie down and be much closer together and tolerate that if it's sunny, because if there is a sunny patch in the room, they both want to be in it, and they will sort of accept the other one also sharing that patch, generally speaking, because all they want to do is lie in that sunny patch. They haven't really got the energy to be fighting. So they're like, I suppose you can lay down, as I'm just laying down, but yeah. So they kind of tolerate that, but yeah, they're still... I think it's just that problem of Bertie sees Stanley as his playmate, and he wants to know. He leaps up and down, and is like, come on, let's play. And he jumps around, come on, let's go. And Stanley's like, seriously? I don't think so. So yeah, so I think Bertie can't quite understand why he doesn't want to play with him really. But hey, they're finding their way, so that's fine. And yeah, what else is there to talk about? Oh, and just a quick, very quick, I'm almost done. Just wanted to say quickly, thank you very much if you have purchased or not, but have just generally been very supportive about my first socks, my pattern that I released. Because I mentioned on the blog I was a bit nervous about releasing it because, you know, it's a sock pattern and there is a lot of sock patterns, and what can I really offer, you know, was my feeling on it. But anyway, I just got lots of lovely messages about it, and you were very supportive about it, and, you know, the pattern has been selling. So thank you so much for encouraging me and making me feel better about it and supporting me with that. So I really appreciate it. Yeah. So, and I hope you enjoy the pattern. I hope it makes sense. I hope you get on with it okay. I'm happy to have feedback, because obviously it's my first one, you know, so I dare say I've got a lot to learn, but yeah, there you go. Just thank you, and I hope you enjoy it. So I think that's it for now. I feel like there's more things I should have mentioned. I feel like I'm forgetting things, but I guess it'll just have to wait till next time now, because I've obviously forgotten them. But yeah, that's it for now. So I shall hopefully speak to you soon, and I hope you have a lovely, crafty and happy week. Okay, that's it from me. Bye!